even though she's very attractive, she's unimaginably attractive, but still Rafael thinks, due to her appearance, due to her face, that she has a good soul, that she would be probably one of those women who would be understanding, who would be soothing, who could help him to make sense of God's plans, who could maybe help him to find a purpose in life. Who knows? Maybe it was meant to be. Maybe it was indeed meant to be. But Rafael is not sure. He's so obsessed with the thought that there may maybe be the right girl out there who could be the one in God's plan. There must be. He isn't sure of it. And then later on, one day when he was in the supermarket, he met Linda Jars. She stood in front of him. She did not recognize him, of course, that Rafael plays hide and seek with her. He hides from her. He doesn't want her to know that he lives there. He did not attend the party. Of course, Linda didn't know him, didn't know who he was. She doesn't even know who lives in his apartment. Linda, she lives in a different world. She probably has a lot of suitors, Rafael is sure of it. And this all fills him with sadness, with craving for love, craving for this experience. How would it be? How would it be like to wake up next to such a beautiful woman? To having made this experience. Not going home into a dark place, not going home into a hole, into places where he is being tortured and haunted by the past, by all the bad memories he has experienced so far and he has come across so far. Rafael is sure of it that one of the reasons why he's miserable is because he has only bad memories. He has only memories about hatred, about loss, about murder. He has not made any experiences about love, about being loved, about being together with someone else. The only thing he has experienced in life was darkness, was cruelty, was void. And Linda Jars, she seems to be different. Why it is Rafael's craving after so many years of solicitude, so many years of loneliness. Maybe something inside him now pops out, now wants to make a move, now cannot keep and cannot be kept restrained anymore. Now he wants to be with someone. Now he wants to be close to someone, feel this experience, feel this emotion of being someone very important. But the thought alone makes him sad and brings tears in his eyes. 8. Dawn. Some days, Don is very surprised how easy things actually work, how easy things go from his heart. He is a doctor. He has been a doctor since he could think. Don knows that the moment he wears a white dress, a white doctor's red dress, things are different. Things are getting different. He thinks differently. He walks differently. This white dress, this white doctor's dress comes with a lot of responsibility. This is what Don thinks about it. He does it for the people. He does it to save lives. And he does it very well. He's sure of it. And whenever he is called for an emergency, he is sometimes surprised how easy these things work, how easy he knows what to say, how easy he knows what to do, his movements, his hand, this is a procedure. Every movement is an exact procedure. His mind, his entire body has internalized it. Every movement follows a chain. And Don's thoughts sometimes are even somewhere else. So he can occasionally just watch, observe his own body going on to work, saving lives in an emergency room, saving the lives of others, saving the lives of people who can then see another day. And Don has saved many people's lives, and some of them even sent them thank you cards. Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for helping my boy, my daughter. Thank you for helping my husband, my wife. Don likes these messages, these thank you cards. They mean a lot for him. They give him purpose. They give him strength. This is what life is all about. And but Don, he did not become arrogant. He did not become condescending. He didn't become one of those guys who thought he's someone better. No, Don stayed down to earth. Don stayed loyal to his job, loyal to the people around him. He likes his job, and Don is sure of it. Everyone around him knows it, should know it. The nurses, his fellow doctors, his assistants, everyone should know that Don likes his job, and he does it good because he likes his job. He enjoys every part of it, every day. There are, of course, not many doctors who think that way. Don thinks of himself as special, as one of those few who really enjoy their jobs, as who really found their purpose in life. Don thinks about the world as if every human being is made for something. And all these years before, he has discovered what this something is. He is on a journey. Some never find their destination. Some never find the place where they belong. This is sad. And Don almost wouldn't have become a doctor, he knows it. Almost wouldn't have become someone entirely different. Someone he was not supposed to be. And where would he be then? He was meant to save lives. He was meant to be here in this hospital, to be needed by all others. He was meant to soothe others. Whenever a fellow doctor, a fellow assistant, a nurse gets all shaked up because of an emergency and she doesn't know any answer to any disease, or if people die when one of his fellow doctors and assistant doctors questions life, the purpose of life, Don is always there. Don Hayes is known quite well in this hospital. He's somehow the go-to guy when you need emotional support, the go-to guy who has everything under control. And it looks so easy when Don does it. It looks so as if it would be the most ordinary thing one would do, the easiest thing one would do, just save lives and be pleased with it. Don is not considered arrogant, and Don makes sure that everyone knows that he is not an arrogant ass, that he is down to earth. And Don thinks that because of this he's been loved. Because of this, many nurses give him candy, bring him food. They love him. But of course, despite the fact Don does a lot for his appearance, for his social appearance, even though he tells himself that he doesn't care whether people like him or not, in the end he wants to be liked. In the end he wants that everyone around him enjoys his company. Everyone around him likes to work with him. This is very important for Don. And of course that he gives everyone the impression that he is different. For a matter of fact, that he is not like all these others. like all these other douchebags who think that they are great or they're above all others because they have managed to save one life, because they have done that what is expected from them. Well, they studied all medicine, didn't they, with the purpose of saving lives. So why do they want to take credit thereafter? Don could never understand it. Don could never wrap his head around it. But of course, despite the fact Don, this nice guy, this guy who is, and Don is sure of it, a role model for all others and for all other fellow doctors, despite the fact there are some doctors who do not consider Don as a role model, who even look down on him. Maybe at least this is what Don thinks about them, who refuse his company. Doctors who look the other way when he enters the room. Doctors who look at him with contempt, look at him with envy. Don occasionally enjoys their gazes because he knows that they want to be like him. They want to be like him, who seems to be easygoing, liked by all others, who seems to be a golden boy. But of course, Don has one enemy for whom Don himself has nothing but contempt. He doesn't hate everyone, or at least Don tells himself that he is not this resentful, vengeful heart. He's a good-hearted human being, and he makes sure that he reminds himself over and over again that I am a good-hearted man. I'm not evil, I'm not wicked, I'm not resentful, I have better things to do. Don has seen a lot of cowboy movies in his childhood, and these cowboy movies somehow helped him to form and mold his attitudes towards his life. They were great education for his formative years. No one watches cowboy movies, and no one watched cowboy movies in his youth. He was the only one. Well, he was left to watch them. There was no other alternative. But anyhow, these cowboy movies, the attitudes of the heroes, these attitudes he made his own. These attitudes he more and more copied, more and more internalized and made his own. The attitudes, the virtues of cowboys. And Don occasionally sees him as a modern cowboy. He sees him as one who does good, who protects others, who fights evil. And every cowboy has a villain, someone who makes his life miserable. The anti-hero of this story. And for Don, it was Juan Felipe Nunes. Juan Felipe Nunes is a fellow doctor. But contrary to Don, Juan Felipe is a very condescending man, at least for Don. Juan Felipe is arrogant. He thinks that he is something better because he is a doctor, because he studied medicine, because he went through a great length of process. Juan Felipe, at least according to Don, needs to remind everyone that he is a doctor. He needs this attention. He needs that everyone pays attention to his accomplishment, to his great accomplishment. For Don, this is all ridiculous. Why does anyone have to emphasize this over and over again? To what purpose? For whom does Juan Felipe emphasize this? Why does he need it? Don is sure Juan Felipe compensates something. But Juan Felipe is liked as well. Liked because, according to Tom, Juan Felipe knows his way around people. Juan Felipe, this wicked man, this two-faced man, and he is in Don's story two-faced. Juan Felipe is the guy who is so pretentious, who is not what he is, who gives a wrong impression of himself. Juan Felipe